Before we get started, I need to big up one of my favorite indie games on Switch called Floor Kids. It's an awesome rhythm-based game with awesome hip-hop tracks produced by the venerable Kid Koala. Just great music, awesome game, so much fun. And what's even better is that this game just went on sale, 33% off. It was already cheap, but now it's much cheaper. I am not endorsed by Floor Kids or any of the creators or anything like that. I just really like the game that much. Hope you guys check it out if you have a Switch. Do yourself a favor, pick up Floor Kids. Peace. Hey fools, Big T back again with another video. And as the title suggests, we're going to be talking about the Switch and how I believe it will outsell the Wii. Put up a tweet not too long ago showing me and my kids all have a Switch now. That's right, we have a 3-Switch household. Each one of us have our own Switches, and it's kind of crazy, but it was kind of inevitable. For one, I like playing, on my Switch, and so do my kids, and we just got into a situation where they were playing it when I wanted to play it, and I was playing it when they wanted to play it, and there was just no way that we could share this thing. Because of the portable nature of the system itself, you can take it anywhere in the house and stuff. It just lends to the fact that people with kids, especially in the household, more adults or whatever, everybody's gonna want their own Switch, and that is, I think, one of the biggest reasons why the Switch will end up outselling the Wii, because people just want their own system, even in the house. Like, you can buy one Xbox for a house, you can buy one PlayStation for a house. There's just something different about a console that's tethered to a TV. So, there's no point in having multiple systems in that case, because, it's tabled to one TV. And unless you have like 10 TVs or 3 or 4 TVs in the house, which a lot of people do, and not saying that they don't, but you want to be able to take your gaming experience, anywhere in the house and not be stuck to a TV where other kids might want to watch something different, or the mom or dad want to watch something different. And the Switch obviously is just perfect for that. And unlike the Wii, where the Wii was very prone to having like multiple accessories for the system, for one system, but it was only for one system. You never saw, or you rarely saw, multiple Wiis in one house. Now, back then I didn't have any kids, and it's easy for me to say, well, I didn't, see people, or I didn't see the need for multiple Wiis in one house. But I knew a lot of people that had Wiis, and a lot of families that had Wiis, and it was just one Wii. There were multiple Wii remotes. There was multiple attachments for tennis rackets and all that nonsense, steering wheels and all that. You had multiple of those, but it was just the one Wii console that everybody played on. And even with that, the Wii obviously sold over 100 million units. I think it would have done better had there not been so many delays, or not delays, but shortages in the first couple of years. Nintendo could have probably sold 200 million of these things. I'm probably being a little crazy with that, but I think in upwards of 150 million maybe, if they had enough stock. Right now you have the Switch on pace with the Wii, and that's kind of crazy that this little system is doing that. And I think it has a higher upside, because if you think about it, you remember the Wii pretty much fell off after like late 2010, maybe early 2011. Like, it wasn't that phenomenon anymore. It was already pretty much gone at that point. And where the Wii U, where that happened with the Wii, I don't see that happening with the Switch, because the Switch's sales potential could go on multiple years. You heard Nintendo talking about how they think they could sell this thing for 6, 7, 8 years or something. They were talking about, and I believe that, because the easiest way to look at that is to look at Nintendo's handheld consoles. Look at the 3DS, look at the DS, and how much those sold even late in their life cycle, because they got really cheap. Imagine a world, in 6 or 7 years where the Switch is $99. You can buy yourself a Switch for $99. Imagine a world where that, and obviously there will be way more powerful things out at the time. But the DS or the 3DS right now is what, 7 years old, and it's still selling really well. And so if you think about it that way, you can, maybe by then Nintendo could even have a new console out at that point, but the Switch could still be selling really well because of its form factor and how cheap it will be at that point. Like, it could be, so that's why I believe it could really, sustain this momentum it has right now, but it can also still sell really well when it's not like Nintendo's console, leader. It's not their main console. They could be on to something else, and this thing could still be selling really well alongside whatever the next thing is. So that's why I think the potential for this thing goes way beyond what the Wii had, because the Wii, like I said, pretty much topped off after its 4.5 years, maybe 5 years if you want to stretch it. But by then, most people had one they wanted, had the Wii and they wanted it. And the sales were kind of slowing down at that point for the console. A lot of the games still sold pretty well into, 2012, 2013. I remember Mario Kart, Mario Kart Wii was still selling like 500,000 copies a year or some crazy stuff like that. But the consoles themselves had, the sales for those had pretty much slowed down, and people had got their fill of the Wii, So I don't think that'll happen with the Switch, because again, the Switch, you can take it anywhere, and you have an old device or something you might still carry around. And I mean, a lot of us have 3DSs, technically those are old devices, that's old technology. And people still keep buying these things, keep buying the 3DSs because they're cheap. The base 3DS is what, $70 now, which is the 2DS, the wedge one, and then you have like the newer ones, but some of them are under $100, or between $100 and $150. So when that happens to the Switch, oh my gosh, I think it's still gonna sell really well. I think it's gonna sell really well late in its life cycle. So and by then, you might already be over 100 million, and it'll just be printing money at that point. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about my assessment here. I showed you in the video somewhere the picture of my kids and me with our Switches. That picture got pretty liked on Twitter. Seems like, I think that's my most liked photo so far, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, I think the potential for the Switch is higher than the Wii. I don't know how much higher, but I do think it's going to outsell it at some point in its life. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching and listening, and now see you fools next time. Peace out. Oh yeah, one more thing. Play Nintendo, fools.